been officially admitted into the symbiotry of peaceful beings.
Gratitude that I honor you, Gage Blackwood, with the Paragon Medal for Valorous Service.
Conference this morning, the government admitted the existence of the Temporal Security Agency, an organization.
The arrest of Elliot Sinclair can be attributed to Agent 5, Gage Blackwood, who single-handedly defeated Sinclair's name.
Quick, there's not much time to explain. They'll be here any second. Yes, I am you. I've come from the future. We've been framed. Now, whatever you try to do, do not interfere with what's about to happen. The suit I'm going to transfer over to you will keep you close, so just stand still and watch. When it's all over, you'll be pulled 10 years forward in the future to my present. From there out, it's all up to you. Oh, and I've hidden more information inside of you. You'll figure out what I mean. Here comes the jumpsuit.
Come on, Gage. Let's go.
Agent 5, Gage Blackwood, is under house arrest. Access privileges revoked.
since you're getting this message, I'm assuming everything went well. Now, before you do anything, you need to understand that the role of the TSA has changed in recent years. In addition to the security unit, there's now another team whose job it is to research history. That's the team I was on. That is, until someone altered history at 4 of my research mission locations. They weren't major changes, just enough to create temporal ripples. When another agent discovered the temporal ripples about a week ago, I was suspended and put on house arrest. Then they discovered some evidence, and by the next day I was already on trial. I had just about given up hope last night when it hit me. I'm being watched, but you can still prove that we're innocent. So I've decided to break house arrest and jump back in time to get your help. Right now I'm probably in jail. If they know where I am, they won't be looking for me. You'll be free to jump to any of my research mission locations to see what's going on. Now pay attention. This is important. Go to each of the 4 time zones and gather as many clues as you can find. Try and discover what's been changed and how. I've programmed the jumpsuit to auto-record any evidence you might find. Oh, and one more thing. I don't know if this has anything to do with what's going on, but I was at the TSA a couple weeks ago, doing an unscheduled check of the security grid. I noticed something was wrong. It seems a couple of the feedback jumpers had gotten crossed. A good portion of the security grid was compromised for I don't know how long. Anyone with the right information could have gotten into or out of the TSA, the Pegasus warehouse, or any of the restricted areas without even being seen. I'm still not sure why I'm being set up, but I think this might have something to do with it. Be careful. Our life is on the line.
Click. Control. This is the remote control for the high-rise environment system. The remote allows access to over 1,000 terrestrial channels and hundreds of silver satellite stations. However, the batteries are dead. Get out, get out, get out. Agent 5 breaks house arrest.
INN will return after word from our sponsor.
The soon-to-be-released Gino, A Fond Remembrance, is Volume 4 of G-Tech's Rock Through the Ages collection. Never before has there been a video collection that captures the many moods of Gino Andrews. You'll hear the melancholy Gino.
So many songs about the rain.
The rebellious Gino.
When you selling yourself, sell the price to pay. When you're selling yourself, make it somewhere.
Yes, the carefree Gino.
It's been my dream to be a traveler of sorts, to visit all kinds.
And of course, the lovesick Gino.
A song for her is all she wants from me.
All of his chart-topping videos are here, brought back from the archives of the past and completely remastered in stunning 4D sound. In fact, Gino, A Fond Remembrance is the most complete collection of Gino's hits ever compiled on one EC. Call our toll-free ShopNet line now and receive a free sample from the upcoming EC that's bound to be an instant classic. Gino, A Fond Remembrance.
Yay.
The ongoing saga of Gage Blackwood took a frightening twist this morning when the agent of the Deep Time Unit broke house arrest to jump 9 years back in time. Fortunately, the illicit time jump was detected and he was immediately apprehended by Agent 8 of the Temporal Protectorate. Although it's still not clear how and why Blackwood obtained the TSA jumpsuit, Temporal Security Agency officials did say that no distortion ripples have yet been detected, and that there is no reason whatsoever to believe that Blackwood has altered history in any way. Our Lisa Long has a report from TSA Administrative Headquarters.
Next.
In a strange turn of events that can only be described as unimaginable, the highly decorated Gage Blackwood, better known as Agent 5 of the Deep Time Unit, has been arrested and put on trial for the crime of historical sabotage. We apologize for the lack of trial footage, but because of the sensitive nature of the material being presented, no recording equipment has been allowed into the tribunal wing of the United Ministry Complex where the trial is being held. The drama unfolded 3 weeks ago when Agent 2 of the Temporal Protectorate discovered 4 distortion ripples while conducting an unscheduled historical scan. As it turned out, the dates of the ripples exactly coincided with times to which Agent 5 had been sent for research purposes. The agent immediately contacted his supervisors, and on their orders, 3 agents were sent to apprehend Agent 5, who offered no resistance. Later that day, more evidence was found in Blackwood's locker, suggesting that he had disobeyed Temporal Security Agency directives for personal gain. Unless deemed absolutely necessary, the TSA will not send agents to investigate or restore the distortions, as any further tampering with history may cause adverse effects, possibly even turning the ripples into full reality distortion waves.
Next. Prosecution, defense, editorial. Prosecution.
Prosecuting attorney Phil Stevens alleges that Agent 5 intentionally altered the past in 4 of the 10 time zones to which he had been sent for research purposes, his only apparent motive being personal gain. In so doing, Agent 5 would have knowingly violated Temporal Security Agency ethics, as well as the law. As temporal sabotage in any form is considered the worst possible crime against humanity, Stevens is aiming for the maximum allowable sentence. The burden of proof lies on the prosecution. They have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Gage Blackwood was responsible for the distortion ripples. There is strong evidence working against Blackwood, including both computer records that place him at the altered historical locations and contraband that was discovered in his locker. But the evidence alone is not enough to ensure a conviction. With this in mind, prosecuting attorney Stevens has directed his questioning toward eliminating other possible explanations for the ripples. Witnesses for the prosecution have included Agent 2 of the Temporal Protectorate, the TSA's chief technician, and the designer of the circuitry for the jumpsuit.
ściągają legend the temporary protectorate to run an unscheduled monthly story as a scanner. Possible memory performance was a near revealing license like the scanners faster, not less sensitive adjunctive scan mode. To discover the ripple depth. Project in the year 1050 AD, indicating a similar connect to the time effect is the reward of object relevant. He soon found few more ripples in the year.
In the absence of an alibi or any evidence proving Agent 5's innocence, defense attorney Sandra Gallagher will be setting out to show, through the testimony of character witnesses, that it is not likely Mr. Blackwood committed the crime. If the defense can elicit some doubt of Blackwood's guilt, he will go free. Witnesses for the defense will include Agent 3 of the Deep Time Unit, Agent 8 of the Temporal Protectorate, the Commissioner of the Temporal Security Agency, and Agent 5 himself. The defense has not yet had the opportunity to present its case. However, we have contacted both the Chief Technician and Commissioner of the TSA to ask them their feelings on the arrest of Gage Blackwood. Neither Agent 3 of the Temporal Security Agency nor Mr. Blackwood could be reached for comment.
With us now is William Doughton, the TSA Chief Technician. He joins us live from the Temporal Security Agency Administrative Headquarters. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Doughton.
Thank you, Mark.
You've known Gage Blackwood for many years, and I understand that the two of you are good friends. Do you think he's guilty?
Absolutely not. The thought that he could be guilty never even crossed my mind. I mean, friend or no, here you've got someone who's dedicated his whole life to protecting history and now stands accused of violating it. That's ridiculous. And if you don't believe me, look at his record. The man's a decorated hero. You can't overlook that fact just because it doesn't fit neatly into the story the prosecution's trying to sell.
Isn't it true you testified that no one else made a time jump to any of the altered historical locations?
No, actually I testified the scanners didn't register anyone making a time jump to those locations. But computers are only as intelligent as their human programmers. Now, I believe it's possible that someone could have shadowed Agent 5's jumps. If a second time traveler were to make a jump within a few seconds of the first into the same location, the chronolog scanners probably wouldn't recognize it as a second jump.
Have you been able to test this theory?
No, not yet. It's too dangerous. If two people were to travel through the same null time tunnel and land in the exact same place, well, their matter would mix and that would kill them.
And you believe that someone found a way around this?
It's possible, yes.
Okay, well, thank you for your insights, Mr. Doughton. I have with me now Commissioner Jack Baldwin of the Temporal Security Agency, who's coming to us live from TSA Administrative Headquarters. Commissioner, thank you for joining us. Now, the first and most obvious question is, are you confident in your arrest of Gage Blackwood as the perpetrator of this crime?
We had to arrest Agent 5 because of the evidence, not because we think he did it. There was an obvious transgression. Someone was responsible for it, so we arrested the person to whom the evidence pointed. Now it's up to the courts to determine whether or not he's guilty.
So you believe he's innocent?
Absolutely. I've known Gage ever since he joined the TSA. In fact, I'm the one who recruited him. Gage Blackwood is a member of an endangered species. Gage Blackwood is a hero. He has put his life on the line many times to prevent this exact thing from happening. There's absolutely no way he would have abused his position at the risk of a single life, let alone history as we know it. No, it just doesn't make sense.
Mr. Blackwood has been an agent for quite a while now, 13 years, I believe. Is it possible that the temptation just became too great for him to bear?
No. Gage is as committed to his duty now as he was back when he apprehended Elliot Sinclair. He was, and he is, our finest agent.
Okay, let's assume for a minute that he did do it. Knowing that he would be facing life imprisonment on Vega Thalon, do you feel that he would plead guilty?
First of all, it's a moot point because he didn't do it. But, presuming he did, knowing Gage, I'd say he had a damn good reason. And he would have confessed immediately. He wouldn't have pretended innocence, not for 1 minute. Bottom line, Gage Blackwood is no criminal. Gage Blackwood is a hero.
Okay, Commissioner, it looks like we're out of time. Thank you. If Blackwood is indeed guilty, he has altered more than just the past. The future, too, will likely feel the results of his actions. The Deep Time Unit will probably be discontinued before ever realizing its full potential. But there is an even greater issue at stake. That is whether the Temporal Security Agency itself is more of a risk than a safety measure. Many feel that it should be shut down and everything related to time travel destroyed. Others argue that the technology has already been invented, so there's nothing stopping it from being reinvented for the wrong reasons. So in their opinion, the Temporal Security Agency must remain operational to safeguard against future acts of historical sabotage.
INN will return after a word from our sponsor.
La peinture fraîche.
Jote latvande.
Huh?
Sasta gorsht.
If you hadn't understood those important messages, you would have just
Wet paint.
screwed up your best suit,
The flippity van van.
driven off of a cliff,
Cheap meat.
been poisoned,
Restaurant smoking in the lobby.
and peed your pants on a foreign planet. Yes, for all those reasons and more, there's the Omniglot DM dual-mode translator biochip from Samco. Just pop the Omniglot DM into any standard biotech interface and voila! No more frustration, no more confusion. The Omniglot DM instantly translates the written and spoken forms of any known language. It does it all! The Omniglot DM translator biochip from Samco. Get it today!
Samco Translator Biochip available at Frugal's and other fine stores for a low price of $199.90 or order over ShopNet. Product order code 689222378. That's 689222378. Order now.
This could be useful.
The heads of ministry will continue to meet with symbiotry representatives today in the Assembly Hall of the United Ministry Complex. These talks were requested by several member races as a forum in which to discuss the place of time travel technology in the symbiotry of peaceful beings. Today marks the beginning of the third week of negotiations, yet there is still no end in sight. Sarah Michaels is standing by at the United Ministry Complex with a report.
Thank you, Mark. The main factor protracting the discussions is the inability of the symbiotry to decide what should be done with the technology. The representatives have formed three distinct factions whose strongly opposing views have caused them to remain tenaciously entrenched in a deadlock. While one group believes we are committing the unforgivable act of hoarding a vital technology, a second supports the symbiotry tenet that each race has sovereignty over its own technologies. The third contingent, which has grown in strength since the arrest of Agent 5, contends that time travel represents a threat to every race of the symbiotry and should be destroyed altogether. Even though most attending races strongly disagree with humanity's sole ownership of the technology, our heads of ministry refuse to acknowledge their arguments, citing its inevitable misuse as their foremost concern. Therefore, barring symbiotry action, it is unlikely that the status of time travel as a proprietary technology of Earth will change.
The opinion originally held by the majority of races represented at the talks is that time travel technology is an invaluable tool for self-discovery and, as such, should not be denied to any race. However, the Loksoni abandoned this position last week in favor of destroying the technology. Presumably, this sudden change of opinion was due in large part to the arrest of Agent 5, an unfortunate illustration of the danger of time travel. The opinion originally held by the majority of races represented the Dorlun and Zangtrakar, on the other hand, have continued to cling tightly to their convictions. They're of the opinion that this technology is far too important to be buried because of paranoia. Time travel, the Zangprakar argue, is like any other powerful tool. It represents a danger only if the user doesn't have the insight to take the proper precautions. And if care is taken, there should be no reason whatsoever to fear what should be the greatest advance the symbiotry has ever known. Perhaps Grandin Farlink, the Darloon emissary, stated the feelings of these two races most eloquently. At long last, he said, we can all be in touch with our pasts. Each race can now know the truths of its history. No longer must time be wasted with painstaking research and endless conjecture, only to arrive at an uncertain understanding of the events that shaped history. The answers, all the answers, lie within our reach if only we have the will to grasp for them. Despite being recently abandoned by the Kryn, two of humanity's staunchest supporters, the Sorolans and the Tsar, have continued to defend our right to autonomy over time travel technology. Like those that favor dismantling it, these two races would rather leave their past buried than risk losing it altogether. But unlike the others, the Sorolans and Tsar believe that humanity harbors a maturity beyond its years and can be entrusted with preserving the sanctity of history. In fact, they suggest that our closeness to our violent past makes us even better suited to manage time travel, as the dire consequences of the misuse of technology still stain our racial memory. Unfortunately, theirs is a minority opinion. The prevailing response to this argument is that Earth's record with time travel speaks for itself. In just 10 years, there have already been incidents of deliberate historical sabotage, the latest of which allegedly involving an agent of the Temporal Security Agency. Our benefactors, however, dismiss the Elliott Sinclair and Gage Blackwood incidents as aberrant acts by disturbed individuals, rather than a weakness of humanity as a whole. And they ask, as a sign of good faith and trust in the newest member of the symbiotry, that the future of time travel technology be left to our discretion. The third viewpoint, which was originally held only by the Unwa, is that the existence of time travel technology represents a threat to the history of every race in the symbiotry. For this reason, these races feel that all existing time machines should be completely dismantled. Following the arrest of Agent 5, the Loksoni changed their allegiance from petitioning for the release of time travel technology to requesting its destruction. They were joined by the Kryn, for whom this represents a break in their long-standing tradition of fervently supporting every race's right to sovereignty over its own technologies. The Loksoni now proclaim that if not destroyed, the technology must at the very least be put in the safekeeping of an elder race of the symbiotry. They cite security as their main concern. Like the others that share their goal, they feel that humanity lacks the necessary discretion to control such a powerful tool. As a side note, it should be mentioned that the Loksoni themselves are among the eldest races of the symbiotry. Despite the arguments made by the symbiotry envoys, the general opinion of the heads of ministry so far appears unswayed. Michael Rozhenko of the Northwest Asia Collective rebutted that the danger of time travel falling into the wrong hands and being used to change history, however slight, is still too great to even consider releasing the technology. It must be realized that time travel has not only the power to unlock the secrets of history, but also unparalleled potential for destruction. Few could argue that it would be foolish to give such a tool to anyone, regardless of its intended use. On the other hand, It's also too late for it to be destroyed, as was pointed out by Chancellor of Law Rick Allen, when he stated that the technology has already been created and can therefore be recreated. Chancellor Allen emphasized his point by attesting that if all known time travel technology were destroyed and a new time machine built without government knowledge or approval, there would be no way to intervene in the actions of the illicit time traveler. He would have free rein to rewrite history to his liking. Unfortunately, such scenarios are all too likely, as was proven by the Elliott Sinclair incident and the current trial of Gage Blackwood.
INN will return after a word from our sponsor.
Okay.
Cheese girl!
In a last-ditch effort to stay afloat, the Louvre Art Museum held an auction of unprecedented scale yesterday. The museum was forced to sell off many of its older collections to pay off creditors and to raise funds desperately needed for renovations to the facility. In a fervent display of support, the art community rallied around the historic landmark, showing that the museum itself is every bit as valuable an artifact as any of the works of art it contains. The auction was an astounding success, raising 138.5 billion credits, easily surpassing the 100 billion credit goal. This windfall was due in large part to one generous bidder who preferred to remain unidentified. Martin Walker is standing by with a live report from the Louvre.
Thanks, Mark. I'm standing inside the historic Louvre Museum in Paris. Behind me sits one of the few pieces to survive yesterday's extensive art auction. Items up for auction included artifacts and works of art from many of the Louvre's oldest collections, including the Da Vinci exhibit, the ancient Egyptian, and Toltec Mayan exhibits. 4 particular items were snapped up by a generous bidder who paid much more than the asking price. The bidder's identity is unknown, but it is assumed to be an art enthusiast who didn't want to see the Louvre shut down. There are rumors, however, that the buyer may actually have been acting on behalf of another race in the symbiotry, which, according to the Earth History Preservation Act of 2322, would be illegal. We're told an investigation may follow. Museum sources that I spoke to speculated that the revenue from the auction will be enough to keep the Louvre in operation for at least the next 5 years. However, they warned me that the price of admission may go up in order to help cover operating costs. A small price to pay for such a wealth of human history and culture.
The Louvre's financial difficulties arose from a combination of rising maintenance costs, overspending, and lower than normal attendance. Several costly acquisitions in recent years sunk the museum into spiraling debt. When repairs to the facilities became unavoidable and visitor attendance fell, it became clear that a major influx of cash was needed to cure the museum's ills. In June, the decision was made to auction off several of its older exhibits. That decision paid off well yesterday. The 4 items that the unidentified bidder purchased included the Toltec Mayan ceremonial coffer, King Richard the Lionheart's sword from the Crusades, Leonardo da Vinci's Codex Atlanticus, and an interactive sculpture entitled Self-Awareness, credited to Kenneth Farnstein. Attendees of the auction said the buyer did not try to purchase any other items, but immediately made an excessive bid on these 4 artifacts as soon as the bidding opened. Experts estimate that the unidentified man paid at least 7 billion credits more than the true value of the pieces, but none could say why he was so interested in 4 such disparate artifacts. They eventually conceded that it may have simply been their rich histories that intrigued him.
It was discovered in 2027 when archaeological techniques and discovered canal below the ground known as the high-priced graving exchange. The most distinct feature of the coffers are its cylindrical shape and ticket-locking mechanism, which make it impossible to find out when it comes to exchange. The which is similar to such a machines puzzle blocks. Years ago, Franklin found a concept which access that it's always on abundance. The job anyone attempts to open that combination. Yet, despite the fact that the companies now well understood all beliefs and superstitions of this show, they further attempts to open it. Unfortunately, the majority still did few clues about the content of this unicorn, which criticizing the museum art and history. Chance versus what? This video was one of the different of the medieval as much of a creative focus to management for Carabaya.
The 4 items that the unidentified bidder purchased included the Toltec. Experts estimated that the unidentified.
The events surrounding the arrest of Agent 5 bring back, for most, memories of the Elliot Sinclair incident. That historic day 10 years ago could have turned out much differently if it weren't for Agent 5 of the Temporal Protectorate. After building the first ever functional time machine, only to have the government shelve the project because it was considered too dangerous, Sinclair decided to sidestep the politicians and build his own temporal transporter. Years later, when the Sorolans made contact with Earth to offer us a place in the symbiotry of peaceful beings, the xenophobic scientist suddenly found himself with a new purpose. Fearing an alien invasion, he tried to convince the public that the Sorolans were not what they appeared to be. But this endeavor met with little success. Frustrated, exasperated, and on the verge of insanity, Sinclair formulated a plan to make Earth a more difficult target for the Sorolans. On the day of the Sorolan ambassador's arrival, he sent each of his 3 robot minions back in time to change the course of history. The first he sent to create a nuclear scare that would prevent world unification and prolong the Cold War. The second was to destroy the Morimoto Mars colony and make it look like the work of an alien race. And the third Sinclair sent to kill Dr. Enrique Castillo, the individual who was most influential in convincing humanity of the benefits of joining the symbiotry. His backup plan, should his robots have failed, was to assassinate the Sorolan delegate. It was our good fortune that Agent 5 was on duty at the Temporal Security Annex that day. He detected the temporal distortions, stopped each of the androids, and then apprehended Sinclair himself. That fateful morning made a hero of Agent 5 and spawned the blockbuster holoflick, The Journeyman Project. Elliot Sinclair was put on trial and found guilty of all charges. He was sentenced to life imprisonment on Vega Thalon and hasn't been heard from since.
Oh, it's over. Okay. So what are we gonna do now? gonna jump in time. Of course, we have to. Okay. Civilization and the Yucatan Peninsula began to lay out for reasons yet unknown. Also in the spring. I was reading. Gather footage from a safe distance and what we see. The destination on this has been scanned and cleared. Okay. We're gonna do it stealth. Let's jump. Okay, this is a calendar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. No. Go out. We have nothing like Noculus. Oh. Something here. No, too many signals. Huh? Thanks for the autosave. Okay, let's jump. Just a second. So this and game. No, I want to go back to the There's a blue substance. Okay. You put it here. Come on. Now let's go somewhere else. Shuttle and oh no. That was close. There's a man over there. Let's do this. We are up to oops. What's this red light? Wait a sec. What's that red light?
The jumpsuit's navigation buttons allow you to turn left and right, look up and down, and move forward in the direction you're currently facing. A lit navigation button means that you can turn or move in that direction. You'll stop walking forward when you reach the next decision point. You can scroll through the items in your possession by clicking the up and down arrow buttons located next to the item list. Clicking the Inspect button between the arrows brings up an information screen on the selected item. To pick something up, click and drag it from the view window down into your inventory and let go. To use an inventory item, click and drag its picture icon into the main view window and drop it on top of the object you want to use it on. Items used by or on your jumpsuit are activated by simply clicking on their pictures. Biochips are program modules that allow the jumpsuit to perform specific tasks. Biochips may be added to the jumpsuit to give it new functions. To activate a biochip, click on its picture in the inventory item icon window. This will bring up a control panel for that biochip. To get information about what a biochip does or how it works, click the Inspect button. The final element of the jumpsuit's interface is the message window. This display will alert you to any situations or dangerous conditions that you need to be aware of. Pay close attention to the information displayed here. It could save your life. For further information on the jumpsuit and its interface, see the Buried in Time instruction manual or access the file's biochip after starting the game.
We said to this biochip. This one. There's nothing here. This red light is suspicious. Yeah, it doesn't work. If I go back. That's placed. Let's go down. Wait a second. Aha. This goes to
Norman traitor!
Why?
You shall not flee now!
Stay clocked. Ah, I can't do anything if I'm clocked.
Keep, Norman traitor! You shall not flee now!
Okay, let's jump somewhere else. Huh. Okay. Evidence. So nothing's wrong here. What's wrong? Nothing yet. Veloce. Liberare il Sisi. Claustra. Imprisonment. Darkness. Trains. Yeah, something has moved. Oops. Okay. Evidence chip to locate. I see nothing. Okay. If I go back, does it want me again? Okay. Let's try the door. It's closed. Let's jump. I think we can see nothing here. Click on. Let's try again. Maybe those warm something. No, I don't think I can leave this tower. Sure, we have to change this somehow. Oh, which number do we have to put? Which number? Can't be too many things. Again. Oh, there's Navarro now. good idea. Okay. Let's do this. Lucky. Solidar and hand. Okay. No. Nice. Close the window. Stiamo radiante. to do something there. We need to smelt something. Okay, it's over here too. Yeah, it's a nice game, this one. A little clunky. Let's try to jump to another location. Going to go down here. Maybe with this. There's nothing here. That's not good. I played the first chapter 1 year and a half ago, I believe. There's nothing to do. Oh! Of course, there's the key. Balcony key. Still scroll on keys, you will not secure this track when it is until 20th century. Let's save. Save. Go out. Evidence registered. Let's see. Okay. nothing to do. And this key. There were locked doors here. And this guy dies for the third time. Oh. Break the wall. It's off. We have to turn it on. We have to kindle the fire. There's no agent 3 or 6. Oh, that's right.
Keep books for display purposes only. Please do not touch.
Okay. No touch. This could be useful for the translator. 21 and 13. 6, 7, 10, 1, 2, 3. Unless we have to put the current date, but I don't know the big wheel what it does. And once again, the arrow strikes. key. And there we go.
Shaka, fool! 'Tis all for naught! It shall not claim this tour! He's in the king's chamber! Quick! He's in the king's chamber! Alas! He escaped us! He must not wretch the goddess!
Okay. Large the key. The key. Nothing. Let's go down. It's hard to get this flying. Let's go. Let me go back. Which I had in a secret compartment of memory in the bed chamber. closed. It's closed.
Hello? I must be warned. Alas, he had no weapon. Pity.
Yeah. Jumpsuit.